Hello everyone. So today we're going to be looking at the application process of the Global UGRAD program. So I've done this video entirely for the purpose of guiding you through the application process. So before we get into it, I would like to actually give you a brief introduction about the Global UGRAD program. I'm assuming if you're here, then you already are aware of the program and what the purpose of the program is. But still, I'll go ahead and give you this brief idea. So the Global UGRAD program is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, which means it's funded by the taxpayers' dollars of the American citizens. So the Global UGRAD program is actually an exchange program through which college students from all over the world, from different countries all over the world, get an opportunity to spend one semester at an American university so that they can experience the culture and the academic infrastructure in America, and they can also share their experience in the back at home when they are during their semester in other American university. So the Global UGRAD program is actually targeted for future leaders of different countries, so that they can take this knowledge back to their country and will be using it for the welfare of the people and their own community. So currently the Global UGRAD application is open. So as we can see in the official Twitter page, the applications have opened and it will be open until February 28th. So let's look into the application process. I'm just going to guide you through it so that you can get an idea. And when you're applying, if you have any queries or something, you can refer back to this video and probably will find it helpful. Alright, so once you are here, you will have to, if you don't have an account already, which I'm guessing you probably won't be, and then you will be clicking on sign up and you will be creating an account. So I'm going to be inputting my email ID. And I will be setting a password. So as we can see here, it says that it must contain at least one lowercase letter, and it's the usual, conditions that they set for any password. So as you can see, I have input a satisfactory password. This is very good. So I'm just going to sign up, and we will look, and then we will follow the next process. So as you can see, it says as soon as I enter, create a profile to get started. So we will create a student profile. So it asks for your first name. So one word of advice: some of like most people, they are having different names in their academic records and in their birth certificates and whatnot. But what I would recommend is, what is the usual procedure is that when you're entering your first name and your last name, you're supposed to enter it as it appears on your passport. So in my case, it will be and the date of birth. So one of the main conditions is that you will have to be 18 years old during the start of this program, which means even if you're not 18 years old now, when you're during your expected start of the program, if you're 18, then that's going to be fine. So email ID, that's a no-brainer. So we've already entered it. We signed up. So I'm going to go ahead and click create profile here. So once we have created the profile, the next step unlocks. Are you looking for a previous cycle application, which means which is not applicable to us because we are not looking for 2020 application. We are actually looking for the 2021 application, which will be the academic years 2021-2022. So don't click this. It does not apply to you in case you're going for a fresh application right now. So which means to begin your application, click get started on this application submission card below. This will bring you to an application. So we are going to be you're expected to click the get started here. Before that, I would recommend you go through those instructions, which I'm doing right now. When you return to this home page, you can see the status of the application because submission card will have a colored status bar at the bottom. if the status bar is gray in color, your application is in review status and no action needs to be taken at the moment. If the status bar is orange, that means that there is an action / step that you need to take. A form needs to be filled out, etc. If the status bar is red, that means that there is an error and you should reach out to an administrator of this program. So they are saying that once we have finished our application, the status bar at the bottom that is going to appear after the application has been submitted is going to indicate what is the current status of your application. So let's go ahead and click get started. So as we can see here, the newest steps will always be the first one. Your previous steps will be below than the next steps. New steps. Okay. This will be a read-only format. When you have completed every section of the submission, the submit button will turn green. This indicates that you can now fully submit your application. Once you click submit, the application will no longer be editable. Okay. Now your application. So as of this date, which is January 21st, we can see that there are only 44 days remaining to submit this. When you have completed every section of the application, the submit button will become green and clickable. Okay, so guys, I'm actually not going to go through every step of the application, and obviously I'm not going to be clicking the submit button in my case, because I'm not actually creating an application right now. I'm just going through this so that it could be a tutorial for you. So if you have started the section, click the start button to the right. If you have already started the section, click the edit button. So in our case, we are going to be starting it right now. But in your case, if you have already started this, then this button might be edit. And if you have already submitted it, then this might be view. So we are going to be clicking open, and we are going to be starting it. So as you can see, the eligibility checkpoints are coming first of all, and only if you are eligible, then it's going to be going on to the next steps. So I am not actually sure about this undergraduate academic program, exchange in STEM and entrepreneurship program. So I'm going to be talking about the Global UGRAD program. So let's go ahead and click that. Are you a citizen? Are you a citizen? No. Are you an aspiring leader with citizenship in one of the following countries listed below? So first check whether your country is listed here. And like I said earlier, the Global UGRAD program is targeted at future leaders that could go back to their community after the program is over, and will be working towards the welfare of their community. So if you are an aspiring leader, or if you have already demonstrated leadership skills through your any local NGOs, or even by starting your own organization, they are actually looking for people like that, and that's whom the program is intended for. So if your country is here and you think you will be able to meet those requirements, go ahead and click yes. Will you be 18 years old by August 1st, 2021? So if you are going to be, if you think you will be 18 years old, then go ahead and click yes. Or you are a full-time undergraduate student in your country of citizenship. So obviously, like I said, you will have to be an undergraduate student, existing student enrolled in a university in your home country, so that you can be an exchange student and spend a semester at an American university. And we have at least one semester of the university remaining after May 2022. So I've talked to a lot of people about this, and this is one of the conditions that a lot of people seem to have a question about. So it simply means that once you have completed the program and you are returning back to your country, you will have to have at least one semester left back at your home university. So that's what they are meaning here. So we have at least one semester remaining after May 2022. So they are asking that in the sense that there are two semesters, there are two different batches of the Global UGRAD program in every academic year. So one is fall and the other one is spring. So if you are in fall, then you will be in the US between August and December, and if you are in the spring one, then you will be in the US from January to April or something. So that they are saying, if you are going to be in the spring one, that means you will be coming back to your home country on May 2022 or sometime prior to that or after that, give or take. Which means once you're back, you still have to have one semester left. That's what they are saying. So do the calculations and click yes if that applies to you. And can you communicate in English? So are you committed to service in your community? Like I said earlier, or you believe to take up that, and they're actually only looking for future leaders who are able to bring back change in their community. So if you think you tick those boxes, then go ahead and tick the boxes you're doing. So, like I said, if you meet all the eligibility requirements, then the application process opens up. So I consent to the collection, storage, and processing of material information in the global application and its attachment with the learning, the U.S. Embassy, Fulbright Commission, and the U.S. Department of State. So I can't actually speak for that, but if you're willing to give consent, then go ahead and click yes. So again, they are asking for your applicant's given name. So go ahead and type it in as it would appear in your passport. So if you have a middle name, go ahead and give the information. So my name or last name. Now, what's your biological gender? So this will be the sex or the gender that has been assigned to you at birth. In my case, it will be male. And the gender that you identify yourself with. So go ahead and click that. And date of birth again, as they are asked. In which city and country you were born. So you will be entering the city and country in which you were born. In which city and country do you currently live? What is your citizenship? If you have a dual citizenship, then that will apply to you, but I don't have a dual citizenship, so that's not applicable to me. So have you ever been arrested for or convicted of a crime? Which means, is there a pending case in the local court of laws or the local police stations or whatever the crime investigating agency in your region be? So in my case it's no, so I'm going to enter it now. And I don't actually know what whether if I said yes it's going to disqualify me, but in my case it's no, so I'm pressing now. So the primary email address. So email is very important in terms of these global UGRAD applications because they do most of their communication this way. So it's very important that you're constantly checking your emails and are also constantly logging into this particular portal that we are in right now, and keep on checking up with your application. So primary phone number. I would so you'll be entering in your phone number. I'm just going to say that we're putting it in. I'm going to be putting it in social space, and I don't want it to be like that. So let's go. Okay. These fields are actually pretty self-explanatory. So I think I don't actually have to explain each and every single one of these. So in case of an emergency during the exchange, who should we contact? So they are asking for 2 emergency contacts. So you can give your immediate family members or your brothers and sisters, your siblings, whomever you feel comfortable with. I'm just going to input in a few dummy name. and their email address. And then their phone number. The relationship. So in this case, I'm just going to say friend. So if you have a disability, then you can expect you to disclose it here. So as far as the Global UGRAD policy goes, I'm told, like we can read in the fine print that they don't discriminate on the basis of disability. But anyway, whichever case applies to you, will be inputting it there in there. So the current university that you're enrolled in. So I'm just going to say University of Madras. Your field of study. So if you're studying BA English Literature, then you will be saying English Literature. Or if you're studying BSc Biotechnology, then you will be entering it as Biology or Biotechnology. So in my case, it will be I'm studying BA Economics, so I study BA Economics. So I'm just going to say Economics for example's sake. So they ask you for your grade point average. GPA. According to the system, you study the institution which you study. So that means if at your institution they are using 10-point scale for your GPA, then you are just supposed to enter whatever is your current GPA, and you don't actually have to go through converting it from your 10-point scale to their 4-point scale. And if you're like in some universities, they actually use 4-point scale. So if that's the case, then you can just go ahead and input whatever the GPA is in your system. So that once application goes on to the next steps, you can explain it to them as in what the system is used in your institution and what's your GPA in comparison to what it would be in terms of an American institution's GPA. So the current year of study, like I said, if you're in your final year, and if you don't have any semesters left, after your expected return from the US, then you won't be available. Like you won't be eligible to apply. Yeah. So these are pretty just. I'm just gonna actually skip through these guys because most of this is self-explanatory, and if you have any doubts still, then you can just leave a comment in the comment section so that I can get back to you. If only enrolled, and I'm probably guessing it's going to be now. Which courses would you like to be in? Okay. So from this question, I can start giving you some pointers. So within your field, indicate which courses you would like to study in the United States. Which means, for example, in my case, it's going to be economics. Which means I can indicate stuff like microeconomics. Or if I'm going to be an advanced, and if I have already got a pretty good idea as to what I'm going to be asking for, then I could say neoclassical theory. But one of the things that I would recommend you do is, if you're going to be in the US and you're going to be experiencing the American education system, I would recommend that you enroll in classes that are particularly only that might not be available for you to take up back at your home university. Like microeconomics, I can just take the course back here at my home university. I don't actually have to go to it's not like exclusive to an American university. But there are certain courses, like maybe American economy during the Civil War. I'm actually not sure whether there's an actual course, but I'm just for an example sake, I'm just saying that. So these are courses that you may not be able to find at your home university. In which case, if you're interested in learning more about it, then you could just input it here, so that the people that are actually reviewing your application will get an idea that you've done your research and you know what you want during this program. So what additional subjects would you like to study in the United States outside of your field? So if you are an economics major, which like in my case, then outside of economics, what are the courses that you would like to study? So you could say something if you're interested in something like that. And then I'm just going to say intermediate programming. Which will actually be from computer science department, since it's outside of my field. And like I said, for the earlier field, the same applies here too. As in, if you're going to be choosing something, then like why not try something that will be available only in the United States instead of just going for something that's going to be available anywhere else. So maybe you can go for something like American Studies, or something like American movies during the Cold War era. I know that I'm just inputting some random words there, but I'm almost sure that I won't be surprised if there was actually a course called American Movies during the Cold War era, because you would be surprised by the variety and the diversity of course options available for you at an American university. So there is definitely a chance that there are, like, whatever that you want to learn, there's a very good chance that there are courses available for you, particularly to do that. So you will be giving your academic references, so that the people that are reviewing your application can get in touch with them and get a clear idea as to what kind of a student you are. So your native language, you will be putting it there, and how many years have you studied English and whatnot. So have you taken the TOEFL before? So if you do pass the preliminary application screening stage, then the next step would be for you to take TOEFL, based on which they decide whether which university they are going to put you in, and also what's your level. So that depends on it, and as you have seen, if you have actually gone through the Global UGRAD program's website, even if you are not well versed in English, for a very select candidates, they might be able to offer English courses as well, which might be, I'm guessing, for exemplary candidates who have demonstrated like the really good leadership skills, and the program, the application reviewers might have thought that they could really benefit from this program, and the community could as well. So that's a whole other topic, and if you really have doubts, then you can get in touch with me through the comment section. I'm currently employed, and I'm guessing it's going to be now. Your parents, so your parents' occupations. So what is your first parent's occupation, which is the main breadwinner in your family? So usually it might be the father. So you will be inputting their occupation, and the second generally would be with the mother. And if they don't actually have any, if either one of them is not employed, then you could just input on unemployed, or you could say that if your mother is at home, then you could just input homemaker, whichever is applicable. What hobbies and interests do you enjoy? So it's more of a personal question. So I think it's going to differ from player to people. I'm just going to put chess, and this is what that you'd love to try in the United States. Ultimate frisbee. So the essay questions are actually what that follows. This is more like a paragraph question, and like I've been mentioning time and time again, they are interested in your commitment to your community, and what good of a leader would you be, and whether you have already demonstrated community service capabilities and abilities, and whether you would be doing that upon your return from the United States as well. Famous questions are what you previously received. So now we are entering the essay questions. So as you can see, there are 3 essay questions, but you are actually required to answer only 2 of those. The first one, you don't actually get a choice. The first one is the compulsory one. The Global UGRAD program is for young leaders committed to serving their home communities. Why would you be a great participant in the Global UGRAD program? So I have to tell you this, guys. When faced with an essay question like this, most of us tend to just go all in on the vocabulary and use the thesaurus like Joey there in the Friends and come up with fancy words. But I should tell you that when the people ask for these essay questions, they are not looking for you to write fancy words. They are actually looking for you to convey your message, even if your English is only functional and it's not really fancy, or even if there are a few grammatical errors. They don't actually care about that. They want to know what kind of a person you are and whether you are actually eligible and are fit to be a Global UGRAD Scholar. So that's the first question, and for the second essay question you get 2 choices. So you can choose either one of those, and you can answer that as well. So you don't actually have to go all in on the formatting, because as you can see, even if you have like bold, italics and whatever not, you are just going to be able to enter only plain text here. So concentrate on your content more than your fancy words or your formatting gimmicks. So then the second part of the application, this is one of the most important parts. You have to submit 2 reference letters, 2 recommendation letters. One is strictly from your professor, a professor that has handled a class, one of your classes. So you'll have to get a reference letter from them. And then the second reference letter is second reference letter. It's even though it says personal letter of recommendation, that doesn't mean you can get a letter of recommendation from your best friend or your sister or your mother. You will have to get the personal letter of recommendation also from someone that is familiar with you, either in a professional capacity or in an academic capacity. Like it's mentioned here, maybe it could be a professor who's familiar with you, or an employer, or someone of that caliber who can actually vouch for your professional skills and extracurricular skills and whatnot. So again, personal letter of recommendation does not mean you could get it from your best friend. You will still have to get it from someone that knows you in your academic or your professional capacity. So once you upload those personal letter of recommendations, then you will be uploading your official transcripts. So if you have your high school transcript, then maybe you can just upload 1 page of that, and your current university transcripts until the semester that for which the results have been published. So if you have completed 2 semesters and are awaiting 3rd semester results, then submit those 2 semester transcripts, and once your application goes on to the next stage, and if the transcript is available, then you can enter it. But you don't have to bother about transcript that for which the results have not been published yet. So submit up to the latest transcript that are available with you for your current university degree. And it might be a good idea to submit your high school transcript, the most recent, like your most recent qualification before the university degree, but don't go back too much in time and be submitting your middle school transcripts and all. So if you want, just submit a single transcript, final transcript from your high school, then I personally did that. So if you want to do that, then it is okay, I think. But the most important thing is you will be submitting the transcripts up until your the most recent semester's results that have been published. So if you have a portfolio of your as a part of your academic program, so in the case of visual communication students here back in India, they could be having this kind of portfolios, and even architecture students, they could be having these portfolios. So if you're one of those students and if you have a portfolio, then go ahead and submit it, I guess. So yeah, once you've done that, then going to be like, so even if you have not completed it and you have to go out and do something, then you could just click save draft and log out, and then come back in and log in into your account and go ahead with this process again. And if you have completed everything, then you just hit mark complete, and it will be submitted, and it will go on to the next stages. So like I said earlier, you still have to be following it up through your email regularly, by regularly checking your email, and by also logging into this portal and seeing whether there's been any updates. So I can log out, like I said, and if you log back in, you can see that the application is available right where I left it off. So I can open it, and clearly action is required because I'm not even started to write one of those essays. So once you have completely completed it all, then you are going to be hitting mark complete, and will be done. So that's pretty much it, guys. All the best for your application process, and if you still have any doubts or queries, feel free to post them in the comment section, and I will check them, and I can if I can help you out, I will get back to you. All right, all the best, guys.